Rishi Sunak has cut VAT to 5% on food, accommodation and attractions, and people eating out will also be offered discounted meals. He said in his summer economic update to the House of Commons that the UK is facing profound economic challenges as a result of the coronavirus crisis. But will his measures be enough? I'm now joined by the founder of the Hospitality Union and Chief Executive of London Union, Jonathan Downey. Hi, Jonathan. So I think it was a couple of weeks ago you were on this programme saying the hospitality industry still needed real help. Does this do it?
No, not really. I think we had high hopes today. This was trailed as an important economic stimulus, and there are some very good measures, useful measures for some sectors of our industry. But on the whole, I think I'm disappointed and a little bit bewildered at where some of the money is going and some of the amounts of money that are going to perhaps the businesses in our industry that don't need it so much. We were hopeful of, and we've been campaigning for, a 12-month VAT break. We've kind of got a partial version of that, 6 months only, and it's only on hot food and soft drinks. It's not on alcohol. So very little support for our very important pub sector. And it just doesn't go far enough. And so once again, we're left waiting for what comes next, really.
Yeah, I mean, he has those sort of singled out the hospitality industry, targeted the hospitality industry specifically with the VAT cut to 5%. That must be a big help.
It is, and I think it's great that he recognises the importance of our sector. 4.5 million people rely on hospitality for their jobs in the UK, and it is very important that we get some sector-specific support, and I hope there's more of it to come. Our tourism industry too has really been struggling, and it's great that we're getting some of that back open now, and there is support there. But unless we get more from the Chancellor on rents, we need something on rents, unless we get the £51,000 rates threshold raised so that some more of the grants are available to businesses that don't qualify yet, I think we're still going to see hundreds of thousands, possibly millions of jobs lost in our sector. And today was supposed to be all about protecting those jobs. I don't see that happening, though. I just don't see that happening with what we've seen today. Right.
I mean, that's quite alarming. You still see all those jobs threatened. What about the £1,000 bonus, Jonathan? If you keep staff when the furlough scheme ends in October, what does that do?
Well, again, I think that's a nice idea, but it seems to be a little bit misguided. And this is where I'm bewildered because, for instance, if you're in a large business with 10,000 employees and you're back open again now, slowly in a phased way, and you've still got people on furlough or part-time furlough, at some stage, you're probably going to get almost all of those 10,000 employees back at work, maybe only 9,500. In which case, the Chancellor should have been targeting his support for the 500 or so jobs that were at risk. Instead, a business that employs 10,000 employees has just been given a 10 million cash-free boost by the taxpayer, thanks to the Chancellor. And I don't understand why he needed to do that. And I think that cash could have perhaps been better employed elsewhere. It seems to be too much for those that need it the least and not enough for those that need it more.
Right, so you're saying that the furlough scheme could have been extended as it is now for specific industries like the hospitality industry. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. There's still more than half of hospitality that's not yet opened. Leisure too. We still haven't got nightclubs and music venues and bowling alleys and all kinds of other businesses not yet open. We're going to need an extension to the furlough scheme beyond the end of September. And it seems odd to me that so much cash is being thrown at those businesses that perhaps, long established, well resourced, and aren't really going to be going anywhere. But they've now got this massive windfall of sort of after furlough cash if they're keeping employees on that they would have kept on anyway. And that's the bewildering part for me. I don't think I'm missing something. I just think that's what's intended, but I don't understand why he's done that. And I think that cash could have been better employed elsewhere within our industry and perhaps in some other industries too.
Yeah. And the Eat Out, Help Out scheme, what's your view of that?
Again, I think I welcome the fact that the Chancellor is encouraging people to come out to restaurants again. We really need that. It was a very disappointing opening weekend for our industry. Businesses were trading at 30, 40, some cases 50% of what they're normally expecting. And the Super Saturday was a bit of a letdown. So it's great to see the government supporting people going back out again. Wait to see what happens when the website is launched on Monday to see how difficult it is to reclaim this money.
Okay.
But they did such a great job on the furlough scheme. I'm sure this will work well too.